Hey everybody, we're back here with another episode of the Toradora Discord server podcast. Your hosts today are Dark Trennow and CP Man V2.
Oh, that's me. Oh my god.
And then joining us today is Biston R1.
Hello.
So Biston is actually joining us here today to talk about a lot of cool things, from a awesome piece of art he submitted to us, which really does look great, as well as Darling in the Franxx, and of course Toradora, among other things. So Biston, starting with Toradora, how did you find the anime?
Well, back in April-ish, I...
That's the month, huh? That's the month.
The month of April.
That's... Everybody says April. It's weird. I said April. I'm pretty sure most people have said April. It's very weird.
April of this year, people found... people suggest... Because I wasn't sure about romance shows. In general, I wasn't sure about them. People kept on suggesting that Toradora was a good one. And I just decided to watch it because of that. And now it's one of my favourites. And that's really it.
Would you say it lived up to the hype, or has it fallen short?
I don't think it's fallen from the hype. It was my number one, but something else that I watched knocked it down just to two. But it's definitely... the hype for it hasn't gone down at all.
Okay. Well, it's not your number one, so I guess this podcast is out now.
I guess the podcast is over.
So, how did you find the server?
Well, Shin posted the link of it on the subreddit, as a post, whatever. And it was just... The podcast was on there. I had a little listen. Ooh. And it was just in the description, there was the link to the server. So I thought, why not? I've got nothing to lose, just to join. And
Podcast, you say? I wonder what that was about.
I think that was episode 3 or something.
Episode 3? Why? I know who was on episode 3. That's the best episode of the podcast. Right? No, shut up. It's me. It's me. Look at that.
Okay.
So, since you are the first person we've had on here that joined because of the podcast, we've had several people join, but you're the first we've been able to get on air, I believe. Actually, no, Hollow might have actually had that honor, but I'll ask you this question I'll ask you the question anyway. What's been your favorite episode of the podcast?
Oh dear.
This is the part where you say anyone but CP Man.
Okay.
Look, we all make mistakes sometimes, so it's okay. Whatever you say.
I'll have to say Shin's one. Even though actually, to be fair, I don't actually remember any of the information from any of them, apart from certain things. But
I see.
But at the time, I enjoyed all of them equally.
Good. Well, I think I speak for me, CP Man, and Lost when I say we are honored and flattered that people enjoy them.
Definitely.
If people didn't enjoy them, then that would be kind of depressing. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's dark. Yeah, it would be very depressing.
So, hold on, I forgot to pull something up here real quick. Okay, favorite character. Who is your favorite character in Toradora? We do keep a running tally of these things.
Of course.
So, your vote does matter.
And keep in mind, this is like your favorite character. Like, don't immediately think we're making you choose between Taiga, Ami, and Minori. This is your straight up favorite character, not like your favorite girl.
That's the best girl one you have to do. That's a completely separate thing. Ryuji.
Ryuji? Oh wow, that brings the Ryuji count
boy
up to 3. Current standings are Taiga 4, Ryuji 3, Minori 1, and Ami 2.
That's awesome. I'm very curious to know what makes Ryuji your favorite character.
He is a character which is not Okay, he he is willing to. He does. Okay, he's willing to help Tiger and stay with her. Like, and he doesn't ever like decide to. With people been saying like he gets beaten up by her, he doesn't decide to just leave or anything like that, and he has this sort of what's the word? Not courage. The I don't know what the word is.
Perseverance, perhaps.
Possibly, it could be that word. The perseverance to continue being throughout the show, to stay with her and not to just leave her, so that she's just alone. He's willing to stay with her because he needs her and she needs him, which was what we found out by the end, which is why I like, because he's loving, let's say. Okay, I'll go with that. He's a loving person that's willing to help her, or anyone really.
Yeah, very wholesome
Even
guy.
at the cost of himself at times.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say that as well. And he's got his cleaning thing, which is great. I love that.
That's some good. Those are good reasons for liking Ryuji. You know, I very much share a lot of those reasons. That's also why he's my favorite character. He's someone I would like to be one day. I wouldn't mind being Ryuji. I just don't want to scare people when I look at them. That's all.
Oh. Well, it might be too late for that, and you never know.
It is.
So, as for anime as a whole, how did you start watching?
Many years ago, back in 2008, I technically started watching it, but I stopped, like, for a very long time, because I never actually thought it was anime, because I just thought it was like an American TV show. What was it? Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds?
Land of the Free and
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Home of the Brave.
5Ds.
Yeah, that was my very first one.
That is 10 years old this year, by the way. That is
yeah.
that is 10 years old this year, much like Toradora.
Oh yeah, makes me feel old. There was that one and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were the first two which I actually watched. But then after,
You know what? That's a very. I think if you asked a lot of people what their first anime were watching, you're gonna get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or a Pokemon response. You know, so that makes a lot of sense.
at the time it was like really popular ones because of the card game and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Then I think like 2015 or something like that. I was just suggested by a friend who watched anime, obviously, and who suggested like Death Note.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Death Note and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. But I never I watched them, but something happened and I just stopped watching both of the shows and I never actually finished them. And so that was it for ages until April, where I had 2 weeks off from college, and I just decided that I've got nothing to do, so
Right.
I just thought I might as well get back into it. So I started again with Death Note, Steins Gate,
Hey.
and Toradora, obviously, and Angel Beats, and all of the well-known-ish ones, and a very, very good one, which I shall not mention due to CP Man's issues with it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, do you like the Voldemort of anime in CP Man's life?
No, that's the. Well, that was something completely different. He was saying not to watch it, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it to see.
That's right. Stick it to the man.
Yeah, but it was bad.
I try to spare people, and everyone's like, "No, let's fuck with CP Man by watching it anyway." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't. Now you regret it. Now you're an idiot." Yeah, no, not you though. Okay, look, you're not an idiot, Piston. You're just misguided. I tried my best, and apparently I'm just not good enough. I'm sorry.
I don't regret it, but at least I watched it, so now it's out of the way forever. Unless the season 2 comes out, which I will watch.
No.
No, for the,
No.
See,
Hey.
to see if it actually improves or anything, which I doubt it will. But that's best of the show.
Hey, you know what? Funny enough, I have a question for you, Bastan.
Okay.
I don't mean to take the reins from Dark Trennow's hands here.
Oh, by all means,
But,
go ahead.
I want to
Take my
know,
horse too.
as somebody that came to the server by way of like listening to the podcast and stuff like that, has this joining the server and being a part of the community met your expectations thus far?
I would say it has. People like. I wouldn't expect the people to like anime, obviously. So that's been.
You would hope so.
No, it's been an experience to actually get like different recommendations from people I can actually directly speak to, rather than, I don't know, from a forum where it's people just like getting to know the person and becoming friends with them, and like learning about them, getting the recommendations from them, and if they know you, they'll be able to give you recommendations according to you, to your
taste.
Yes, thank you.
Don't trust any of Wish's recommendations. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of his kind.
Now I wish he was here.
You're gonna have to cut that out. I'm sorry.
I can probably like clip one of Wish's responses in his episode into this one.
Oh no! Oh god, that's not. And it's yeah, and it's the people are everyone's great. Basically, I can't find fault. I can't find any fault with anyone. Everyone's really friendly.
You can't see it, but I'm dabbing.
Oh. I see.
Oh dear.
I feel like I could see it in my heart, and now I'm questioning my life.
So since Biston has been kind enough to confirm that we're basically the best server ever,
Oh yeah.
let's talk about another best thing. What's your favorite anime?
Here we go.
My favorite one will have to be Your Name.
Oh, so you're going movie here. That's interesting.
Unless you want me to do my top 3 movies and top 3 actual series, I can do that. That would.
I see. I don't see why not.
Okay. It would be then for the films, Your Name, obviously, and then what was the other one? A Silent Voice.
Okay, those are like, the 2 big ones, if you will.
Yeah, and then the strangest one, which could be a third one, is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time.
Really?
Yeah. Well, actually, would you consider that a movie? Because it's only like an hour, whatever. It's a movie. It's great.
It's a special, but
It's like a single run production.
Yeah, I'd count it as a movie.
Okay, there we go. That's and then that's my third one. For the movies.
Wow. I guess it makes sense because 5Ds was something you watched so long ago. So I suppose that would make some sense because that is, your quintessential getting to see, whatever the hell the guy's name for 5Ds is with Yugi and Jaden.
Oh,
so,
Yusei.
Or Judai, as most people would say.
Oh, yeah. And then there's the TV shows, obviously. Obviously, Toradora would be number 1 in this case.
Hey.
Nice. Oh, wow, so your name is what usurped,
Yeah.
Toradora. Wow, okay.
Then Steins Gate.
See, I'm liking this already. Okay.
And then Toradora again. First one.
So good, it's there twice.
It's gonna be. It'll have to be Death Note. I'll say then.
Death Note. Okay.
2 of the big ones which most people watch, really. But anyway.
Well, I mean, to be fair, all 3 of those I think are things that a lot of people have watched. But actually, almost everything that you mentioned, except for the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, I think is something a lot of people have seen. But
CP Man can't give 100% confirmation that everyone's seen it because he's played AMP with me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I miss several of those routinely.
I mean, look, Dark Trennow thinks that Your Name is the weebiest thing ever, and its soundtrack is super weeby, and I'm just sitting here like, you do understand that this film is like the highest grossing international film in like Japanese history or some shit like that.
Okay, I assume both of you have seen Your Name, yeah?
I have. I'm pretty sure Dark Trennow hasn't.
Okay, so
Seen what?
Your Name.
Your Name? I have not
Ah,
seen Your Name.
damn it. Okay then. I was gonna say something, but I'm just gonna have to leave it then until you've seen it.
You know, do
You
you
can say it, because I probably will forget it by the time I get around to watching it.
Dark Trennow forgetting things? No.
It's pretty. It would be considered pretty much the biggest thing in the film that you will find out, and I think CP knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's see for me, I really like the movie, but not enough for the story as much as I think it's like the best looking thing I've ever seen. But it's I get what I know where you're coming from. I just
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. I can't. But you know, whatever.
Okay. How do I put it? Elements of Steins Gate type thing. There we go.
Yeah, it's very supernatural in the same way. Just you know, in my opinion, not done as well. But yeah,
It's like pretty much has all the kind of Your Name has all the elements of something which I would consider a great movie. The visuals, the soundtrack, the characters, the story. 10 out of 10 in my books.
It's got some really good stuff, and while I don't think the story is as good as it could have been, there's a good story there. So it's a good movie, and I completely understand why you would say it's your favorite anime like project. You know.
That's good. At least you're not overly disagreeing with me and saying no, it's not that.
No, it's good. So I understand. You know, I try to be as understanding as I can, and with that, it makes sense. It's good.
Good to hear.
But yeah, so Toradora, and then Steins Gate, and then Death Note. You look on the spectrum, and those are three, wildly different productions from one another, really. But they are some of like the highest, highest ranked stuff in their genres. Obviously, Toradora is like almost, I would think with most people, like the greatest rom-com ever made for a lot of people. And then I don't really Death Note. I guess you'd have to call Death Note shonen, wouldn't you? I mean, I guess it is.
I'm not sure that's the best.
Wasn't Death Note in Shonen Jump?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it was.
So that's kind of like my indication to call it shonen or not. And of course, Steins Gate. You will find most people tell you that Steins Gate's the greatest anime ever made. Plenty of people will tell you that. I mean, Steins Gate's my favorite anime, and I believe that.
I wonder if there's a conflict of interest there.
But but a lot of people will say that's an opinion that isn't like some shocking out of nowhere thing. But with that being said, if Toradora is your favorite anime, and then you follow it up with Steins Gate, Death Note, would that mean that the romance genre, the romance comedy genre, however you want to look at it, is your favorite genre?
I never actually thought of that. It's like the because Toradora was my first one, of course. But Steins Gate and Death Note I've watched before it. Because they had like elements of romance in it, and I don't mind it.
Oh yes,
because it's like not the main point of the story, but
it's a very good side piece to the main story.
Yeah, but Toradora was the first one which actually has it as the main point of the story. Like the entire, it's mainly around that. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say romance is my favorite genre, romance comedy genre. I wouldn't say that, or maybe the psychological thriller is my favorite.
Well, hey, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, Death Note and Steins Gate would fill under that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. See, that's actually very interesting to know, because it just goes to show that you can love a certain anime or something like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that all your favorite anime are like that. So that's very cool.
Well, Wataku, or what was it called? Yeah, I think it was just
Watakoi?
Yeah. That one was that was a great romance one, and I would say that is if it was on my list, like maybe number 4 or 5 as a romance, because it's a romance comedy one, so it would be quite high on my list as well.
Yeah, it's a very good anime, but Dark, let me stop stepping on your toes.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Because I know you have itinerary. So, what do you want to hear from Piston next?
Loose. It's very loose, so don't worry about breaking it. So I find your username to be pretty unique,
Ah,
Biston.
okay.
And then the R1. What does the R? Tell us the whole thing. What does the R dictate? Biston. What does it mean? What's the origin of your username?
Oh, right. Okay, then. This is going to be exciting. So, in 2016, I needed a username for my PlayStation. So I actually have a username and stuff. And in that year, Star Wars Rogue One came out.
Oh.
And I have a figure on my shelf, and there's a character called Biston. And then the Star Wars film is Rogue One, so R1. And then I just put them together. It's just, I couldn't think of anything, and that was just okay, that sounds good, I'll just use that. Pretty much.
So to make it clear, it's Biston, not Biston.
Yeah, Biston. Well, it's because maybe...
See, now I feel like a jerk.
Maybe it's...
We've been calling you Biston since you joined.
I was calling you Biston before, but this joker over here kept calling you Biston, so I thought I was the idiot.
I think maybe it depends on how you pronounce... Well, no, because I don't know if there's like a proper pronunciation, because I've never actually heard it on the screen, as far as I remember anyway. And I just call it Biston because it sounds... Because I'm British. English, that's how I say it, maybe.
Yeah, originally I was calling you Biston as well, but then I was thinking, well, there's no A in piston, so I just figured, I must be saying it wrong, even though Biston sounds more natural than Biston. But Darkin over here making me want to sound like a proper
does
man.
It though?
Whatever.
I won't be offended, it's fine.
Like, I'm just throwing that out there.
You can say it however you like, it's perfectly fine. Doctrine.
Let's just call him that guy. This guy over here.
That's always the common one for me, is like, Trennow.
Oh man, it's Dark Trennow. Come on, do the programs, you know what I'm saying? Oh man.
So you're a Star Wars fan, I take it.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
That's
so
interesting.
Do you have a favorite of the films?
Yes, that would be Return of the Jedi. So
Okay.
the people who are listening and don't know, that's number 6 one, or the 3rd one,
Episode
depending
6.
on your point of view.
I mean, that's a good movie. So.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Oh, prequel movies, thank you.
I mean, you know what? To be fair, I absolutely love Revenge of the Sith, specifically because there's so many memes in it. So,
Revenge of the Sith is great.
like, Darth Plagueis the Wise is the greatest meme in the history of Star Wars.
I just like to throw it out there because my friend is actually going to be listening, and he's probably, when he listens to this, the favourite one is Revenge of the Sith, and it's kind of funny that we both live through the same, we're the same generation, obviously, and we lived through the prequels at the same time. It's funny how he prefers the prequels more to the originals.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is very interesting. I mean, I guess if you grew up with them, it would make sense to, like them more. Yeah. But I mean, you can't deny that the episodes 4 through 6 are the better, trilogy.
No.
I mean, The Empire Strikes Back is like a masterpiece in film.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, it's their favorite because of the Luke, I am your father. So
that might be the best Star Wars meme right there, because it's just lived on for so long, for like 40 years. It pretty much is if you see the way it gets used.
Well, Do It is a meme as well. So it goes.
Do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Kill him. Kill him now. I say that sometimes. I'll be hanging out with my dad, who is a massive Star Wars fan. He watches Star Wars all the time, and I'll just randomly look at him sometimes and just go, do it. Do it now.
Have either of you watched the films?
Did you say that again? You broke.
Sorry.
up for me.
Have either of you watched the films?
Oh yeah, I've seen them all. Until
Oh, yeah, I've
recently,
seen
I
all
was
Star
a
Wars.
very big Star Wars fan.
Oh, and then the sequels came out, and then you say, I do not like Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, it just kind of, I went home and rethunk my life as Obi-Wan.
No, I sat down and I watched The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and I sat there and said, why am I watching this when I could just go watch A New Hope and Empire? Because that's basically what I'm watching. Like, that's essentially how it went for me.
I would consider them just below the. If it was an order, I don't know. They would be. I don't know, 3 and 5 maybe, or 5 and 3, depending on how you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a strange thing. And then the prequels originally the prequels actually were in the trash bin at the very bottom of the scale. But I've actually grown fond of them because I've accepted the fact that they may be bad, but they proved that they did what they were trying to do, which is tell the story of Anakin.
Yeah.
And the
There you
story
go.
of how Jar Jar caused the Empire to take over everything, and oh dear.
Oh yes, Jar Jar Binks, the true Sith Lord.
No, please. Well, in Robot Chicken universe, then yeah, but otherwise, no.
And they're basically the same thing. They're basically canon at this point.
Might as well be. Jeez. I'm surprised Seth MacFarlane isn't credited for anything in the recent Star Wars movies.
Or is he?
Oh. Ghost Rider.
Well. Speaking of Jar Jar, actually, he because there's that the canon books and stuff which are out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It turns out that Jar Jar has now become he's a jester on Coruscant, but he's hated by everyone
Oh.
because they know what he did.
We know what you did, Jar Jar Binks.
People.
We know that you pissed in the mayonnaise as they stare at him and point. I don't know why I just said that. That was terrible. It's all over now. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the podcast.
Well, we had a good run. I guess this is as far as we make it.
The show's been cancelled. I'm so sorry.
I just received a cease and desist from Shin. It's over now. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Star Wars, it's a very interesting film series, that's for sure. It's cool that you enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
So, when you're not watching anime or Star Wars, what are you doing for fun?
I'm play games like is the other is the other thing. On the PS4, just playing a load of games most of the time.
Gamer.
Yeah.
Have you played Bloodborne?
Yes, I played it. Probably about 3 hours of it. But I'm still back at the very beginning, more or less. It just drove because my friend and I were doing it at the same time to see which you get the furthest, and it just turned it's more he got further than me, but I nearly got to the point where I threw my remote because I got so irritated. And then it's been deleted because I'm not going to play it again for a while.
Oh. That's the only PS4 game I've ever wanted to play. I just refuse to buy a PS4 just for it, but it really is the one that I want to play.
I'm sure you could probably get it for really cheap somewhere.
Cut out there. Say that again.
Oh, you could probably get it really cheap somewhere. Then you could just play it for Bloodborne and then sell both of them, and get some money back and buy some other games.
If they have another killer Black Friday sale, I might cave because like Bloodborne is like $20 or $30, and for the Black Friday sales in the U.S. at least, I'm not even sure y'all have Black Friday. Actually, I don't see why y'all would.
Yeah, we do have a Black Friday, but it's not as not as insane as the American ones where people start getting badly injured because you're trying to like steal TVs and not steal it, but grabbing the TVs off each other. And...
You're getting it for a steal.
Piston, let me tell you, It ain't Black Friday unless someone's getting ran over and their child goes missing. It's not a freaking holiday. It's just not.
Well, we're safer. We as British people, we do not go outside, and we stay inside to keep safe. We do not go in London. And we drink tea as well. There's that.
There you go, some tea. Have you been drinking some tea while you've been recording this?
I do not drink tea. I'm sorry to say.
Just lie to us and say yes, even if you have. Keep the stereotype alive.
Cheese and crumpets.
Come on. Fish and chips, right?
Yeah. Next time, I'll eat fish and chips then.
Yeah.
The whole podcast will be about fish and chips, and then Dark Trennow will come in and say, "Do they have Red Baron frozen pizzas in England?"
Why we're talking about Red Baron? If you want a Red Baron subreddit, please comment so below. Me and Hip are thinking about making one because there isn't one currently. And if you're interested in that, we'll get on that maybe. But I don't think y'all do because I believe it's only in the southern half of the United States.
Yeah.
But do you by chance have Red Baron frozen pizza in England?
I do not think that we do, to be honest. We've got other, like, the weird, to be honest, I don't even remember any of the brands. But Red Baron sounds familiar, but
He doesn't even have DiGiorno, I bet.
No idea. I'm 99% sure I've never seen it in the shop. So, you've got a very special pizza that no one else can have. Though, to be funny thing is, I'm actually eating pizza right now. So,
Hey!
Wow, I bet you it wasn't even frozen.
No.
Gosh. Wow.
Ooh. Real food? Wow.
Dark Trennow is done.
Okay, so next thing I want to bring up is you submitted an awesome piece of
no.
I'm not sure what to call it of art. And that actually will be featured
podcast thumbnail maybe
during this episode.
Oh.
So first off, thank you because it is actually really cool looking, and you should be seeing it on screen now if you haven't been already seeing it. But it looks great. Has all the characters on it. Nice, good background.
It's obviously going to be completely edited. Yeah, it's going to be edited. I'm slowly like I didn't actually draw anything. It's because because I had an IT course or whatever, and because I had to do digital graphics and stuff, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll use my skills of putting like images together. I didn't actually draw anything. I did type everything, but the image I kind of cropped, so it belongs to someone else. So
Well, good, we're gonna get sued.
So whoever that image belongs to, thank you.
And copyright claim. No, but in all sincerity, it looks really great, and
thank you very much.
I'm really glad that we actually got the level of love for the podcast that someone would actually say, "Hey, I'm gonna derp about in Photoshop for however long to actually make something cool and send it to the guys running it." It looks great, and we're glad to be able to feature it.
I appreciate that you like it.
Hey, you know, and who doesn't love some nice some nice Toradora, media? Come on.
Yeah, it's got Taiga, Ryuji, some garbage, and then Minori.
Oh. Oh, that's me. That's gonna upset some people. Oh dear.
We're gonna come back after this one's uploaded, and Merseni and
Grape
are gonna look at us with kind of an angry stare.
I do not take it back. Everything that's been said by him, I completely agree. Please do not hurt me.
You can't see it, but I'm daft. So, Is there anything that I know you, because you've already told us you had one thing we wanted to discuss, but I was going to save it towards the end.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about before I ask you a couple more questions?
Nah, I've got nothing else currently.
Aw.
I'll probably think of something, but there we go.
All right. See this. So now we enter the part of the podcast where everyone starts to understand why I talked so much earlier, because I'm about to not talk for the rest of the podcast.
Okay, no, actually, I've got it.
Oh boy.
Okay, a game that you are currently playing, a game that you are currently playing, which you're enjoying or something. I don't know, some video game question. I don't know.
Yeah, Dark Shadow, what video game are you playing right now that you're enjoying so much?
Well, the one I'm enjoying of the two I'm playing is Fallout New Vegas. I just finished the last DLC, Lonesome Road, which I enjoyed very much. So it's been a nice upturn from... well, I liked the Old World Blues DLC too. I actually had fun with Dead Money, because when I played it back on the 360, I hated Dead Money. But I actually had fun with Dead Money. Honest Hearts was just okay. It's pretty meh, but I still had some fun. And I've just been kind of moving around the wasteland doing side quests before I eventually, do Hoover Dam, just to go back and do more side quests. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. Played a little War Thunder today.
Is it that?
Yes. Go ahead.
Is that the one? That's the one with all the planes and stuff, isn't it? I believe it is.
Say again, you cut out.
It's one of all the planes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I play the ground modes though, so it's tanks. And
Yeah.
I stupidly picked, because I liked World War II. I like World War II German military stuff, especially the tanks.
Okay.
And I picked the German tank tree, which is just in a absolute garbage state. Absolute garbage. And so you just play like every match disadvantage, and I get upset.
They have to fix it. The game's been out long enough. They're gonna have to start fixing it.
What about you, CT man? What big game has been on your... As if I didn't already know the answer.
All right, so my answer seems to never change podcast when I'm told this, but I don't play video games, but the video game I've been playing the most is Anime Music Quiz.
Oh yeah, that counts.
I spend a lot of time playing it, and that's my video game of choice, so there you go.
It counts. There we go then.
But outside of that, I play nothing else. I wish Anime Music Quiz was on my Switch, so I didn't have to keep looking at this caked dirt on it and dust. But whatever.
Maybe if you email them about it, they might actually be like, well, if you really want it, just for
So, like, you're gonna pay us the $200
we'll
grand
AMQ.
for the development fee? And I'm just like, no.
I
boy.
bet you can play it on a Wii U though, because it had a web browser.
Probably. Oh my god.
You need Flash Player. I'm sorry, you're not able to do it.
Oh.
Aww.
Wah wah. So this is where we're gonna come to butt heads.
Good. Use up the next.
This is where I have to put on my valiant defending armor to defend.
You know what?
Really is a great anime, Darling in the Franxx.
Oh no.
Because Biston specifically said, "Hey, before we start this, can we talk about Darling in the Franxx?" Because he wants to crap on the last couple episodes.
Well, couple. More than a couple, but yeah.
Here's your chance. Lay your thoughts out, Biston.
Everybody listening to this right now, I am so sorry for what might happen. I'm going to do my absolute best to maintain an order. I promise.
And it's a warning to everyone. I am going to be spoiling like certain parts, so that's
Oh no, I'll never get to watch it now. Oh no.
warning. Alright, everything up to a certain point, which is Verm, I enjoyed it immensely. But when Verm turned up, it just ruined it for me. Because Verm came out of nowhere with no foreshadowing or anything, and it looked like they pulled it out of their own arse. Pulled it directly out and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to throw this at the wall. Oh, it's sticking. Okay, we'll use this piece of shit. No offense, and I don't mean to swear, but it just ruined the ending of the show because it had a nonsensical part of it, a thing come along, and it dear. Them.
Oh.
Then the weird part where 02 becomes the robot, or the mech, or how people call it. That kind of. And then. Oh, generally it's actually the Verm thing, which is the main issue. But the ending, though, the proper ending, apart from the fact that they died, yes, they died at the end, so that upset me. Reincarnation.
Oh no, the spoiler.
No, there's so many spoilers. Hero and 02 die at the end.
Oh
Because
no!
they get sent to some alternate universe or some wormhole or something, and it just made me very sad and depressed not depressed, like that's a bit too much, but irritated because now they're reincarnated and they're gonna have there's not going to be a season 2. That's pretty much well, there might be a season 2 if you're lucky, but
I'm hoping for an OVA. I think they can do like an OVA.
oh yeah, I would hope they'll be able to at least or something. I have no idea what they could do in that kind of situation.
You cut out there a little bit. Did you?
They could. What they could do, I have no idea. But if one does come out, I would watch it without hesitation, because I did enjoy the show. Because I did enjoy the show. It's just it's just the ending really peed me off, as British people say. But the several years like time jump at the end. Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. That was a nice little thing they could do. But there's nothing. I got nothing else to say. It's just it sounded better in my head.
No, you laid out. You did a good job laying out what you, in my opinion, at least. So
I wonder if the person
where people take offense with Darling in the Franxx is always at the same place. It's always episode 20, Arrival of Verm. But Verm is the perfect foil for everything because of both what it represents and what it did for the series. Because by now you've learned almost everything except why the Klaxosaurs are the way they are.
Did you just say Klaxosaurs?
Yeah.
Are they like dinosaurs made out of like metal?
They were named Dr. Franks says their name, just like screaming reptiles is what it means.
Oh.
And some of them, they look like a variety of things, so.
Okay.
Some of them look more dinosaur-y, I guess, than others. But you mostly see ones that I feel look insectoidish, but yeah. It kind of depends. Like, they did different ideas with them. They kind of take on more uniform appearances, I'd say, by the end of the series.
Interesting. Klaxosaurs. Huh.
But, like, because Verm is, this thing that's supposed to be like the Klaxosaurs, amorphous, can be sort of, everywhere kind of deal, and think about how, like, the Klaxosaurs are cool, but they don't really take over things, right? But Verm does. That's the whole Verm's existence, right? Is its ability to amalgamize other things into it. If that's even the right way to use amalgamize.
I don't know.
But it takes things into it, right? It's like the Flood in Halo, But like that, because the Verm represents like misery, right?
Yeah.
Because the last episode gives that away. I can't remember the exact line, but it's like everything will come to Verm and all that stuff. But it's supposed to be misery, and because Hero and 02 are happy together, they don't want to be part of Verm. They don't need that false sense of belonging because misery always wants company is the saying, right? And so it's kind of like, no, they have reason to live now, which Hero was the sad protagonist for the first part of the series until he meets 02, and this is like the ultimate rejection of like wanting to die, right? Is because it's actually like, no, I don't want to be unhappy. I actually want to be happy, I have reason to live now, whereas Verm represents having no reason to live because you're miserable.
Oh god, I never actually thought about it like that, to be honest.
Wow. Having no reason to live because you're miserable. Jeez.
It's how okay, because Worm came out of nowhere. How do you like that? Because there was no foreshadowing or anything to suggest that they existed.
Right.
How do you? I don't know. How did you like? I don't know. You know.
How did I take
Yeah.
it? I thought it was a great episode. I think episode 20 was really entertaining. I liked Verm. I liked how, and I know there's no foreshadowing, but that's why it's fun, is because it's a surprise. And like I said, it explains arguably more than Dr. Franks does at times with his exposition, because the Klaxosaurs living underground and being these energy-based life forms, right, makes sense because they actually had to find a way to match Verm's powers of consuming others, right, and bringing them into to the fold of Verm. Because now they're something as malleable as Verm, so they can actually fight them instead of being consumed like Verm. Because Verm has a million forms from the different aliens it's conquered, right? But the Klaxosaurs can reassemble themselves 1,000 different ways too now. And we see that, right? Because the whole time that we see the Klaxosaur battle fleet and everything, and really through the whole series, you see so many different types of Klaxosaurs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, okay. And being underground kept them safe because they were never there for immediate discovery. It allowed other stuff to be on Earth and be a buffer until they were ready, and because they knew Verm would return, and when it finally does, okay, the Klaxosaurs have just spent, however many millions of years waiting for a war. They're ready for it, as we see. They had a whole plan, It didn't go exactly the way they thought, but it was close enough.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. You've got really good points.
Yes, it's like, and I totally get what you're saying. Like, when stuff comes out of nowhere, it's annoying, because I can definitely think of stuff where it came out of nowhere, where I was like, y'all really did just throw something there and see if it stuck because you wrote yourselves into a corner, know? But I'm kind of like, no, Verm actually is more thought out, because it actually puts the world into perspective versus just being like, we really needed something to write us out of a corner. Because, like, the show Supernatural, I like that show, but they're really bad about, like, oh, surprise, we just threw something in, and it can get you out of the situation. And whereas, like, Verm was actually planned from the get-go.
You say that if it fits within the set out ready universe, then I would understand. But Aliens doesn't fit. Really doesn't fit. I could get the life form that comes from the ground or whatever, but I can't remember how the Klaxosaurs came to be or anything. But if the only thing that would just made it better for the Verm, if they just had it in the background, like in where was it the Klaxosaur princess or something, or queen?
Yeah. Because she was the last of, like, the original form of the Klaxosaurs. Because before they were the Saurs, they were the Sapiens. Because they were actual life forms, but they slowly evolved into the energy-based life forms to fight Verm, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they were just in the background, the camera scrolls along it, and it's just like I don't know, a computer screen or something, some sort of screen which just shows I don't know, a ship or something coming towards Earth at like a really far distance. That was like, oh, okay, what's that? And then at least when Verm comes, you go, oh, okay, that's what's coming. Or
that's a good point.
Or
that would have been a nice little touch. Would just be to see, like, the Klaxosapien queen looking at a computer screen that showed, okay, they're about to come back.
Yeah, and there's like they don't make nothing pulls attention to it. It's just like look at it and then just look away. There's not really any attention. Or they could have just said, I don't know, the queen could have just said, they are coming for us or something. That's cringy, but they are coming for us. And you may think, oh, okay, that's the humans coming to get them, but it's not. It's Verm. But that's really that's my take on it, because don't get me wrong, I love plot twists. That's why I love Stephen King stuff, because his plot twists, they're fucking insane. but there's like there's foreshadowing throughout the thing, and then there's do you know M. Night Shyamalan?
I've seen one of his movies, but it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Wow.
He's got
I've seen several.
in the majority of his films, not Avatar, that doesn't count.
That one I haven't watched, thankfully.
Any of the ones which was his original story, they've got plot twists, and there's like foreshadowing there's like slight parts of foreshadowing to explain that kind of thing. That's why I really enjoy those. That's my kind of. If they had some sort of foreshadowing in Dining with the Franks, it would be one of my favourites, without a doubt. But because of that, it kind of ruined it for me.
The series as a whole never had foreshadowing. That was that's honestly why it got popular in the beginning, is because it told you absolutely nothing. And it was always about, there is such a layer of mystery to it, because the whole time you're watching episodes 1 through 6, which I think people really enjoyed. They are really up to the beach episode. I just can't think of what number that was. I think it was 8 though.
Yeah, sounds alright.
And where it was still such a intriguing thing about, like, why is there a ruined city? Why is it significant that the book Kokoro picks up is about having children? Because, like, isn't that just a thing after all? They appear childlike in some ways, and that's another thing, is like, why are they seemingly adults to some extent, but like really
I was saying they're teenagers,
really older teenagers.
Yeah.
And then, but they seem very childlike in the mind, and it's like, why are the mechs built that way? Which I wish they would have given a cemented answer as to that. I've heard that it was just because of the animators felt that way.
I think they did explain it at some point, but I don't actually remember.
Say it again, you cut out.
Sorry. I think there was an explanation at some point when Dr. Franks actually made it. I can't remember. The way the position.
What it was is they were
like positioning.
Made them from klaxosaurs or something of that nature. Because it's really they do the Evangelion style of, you've really been piloting basically the same thing, And I have heard from one of our people in the server that they were kind of like, everything was just kind of a Evangelion,
Also
very tropey. Yeah. And I disagree with that. There's obvious similarities, but I think overall it's a lot of fun anime, and I think it gets a little too much hate.
I don't hate it. I just dislike that part, and it spoiled it. That's really. There was something. There was this theory I read somewhere that 02 and Hero have actually met before they were children, and that because they've been that's like another reincarnation. So before that, there was another, and it's like a loop or something. I don't.
Yeah, like how Aquarion does its stuff.
The what? Sorry.
Have you seen Aquarion?
No.
Oh boy.
I've not seen it.
I don't like Aquarion Evol, and it turned me off the rest of Aquarion. But basically, Aquarion does stuff with reincarnations too.
Okay. And it was the way that they did it. You just didn't like it, or is it just the? Okay.
That was a good discussion, though.
That you know what? You guys really went in on that. I didn't even have to step in. There was no hair pulling. there was no biting. There you go.
Okay, so recommendation: you're gonna have to watch it now, even though you know everything that's gonna more or less happen.
You really, it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride.
Yeah, I've taken enough fun rides in my life where I'm more into the shit rides right now. Thanks.
Excuse me, citrus. Yeah.
This is hey, we're coming up on an hour here. And,
Yeah, it's going to take up too much. It's going to take another half an hour to...
No. I'm pretty sure... I think you're the first person that we've had on that's watched it. I think. I think you're the first. I think you're the first person, aside from me, that has seen Citrus to be on this podcast.
That's not
terrible.
That's not a good thing.
I saw it on Funimation I say the other day. This was like a month ago, but I was kind of like, oh hey, Citrus.
Oh hey, what's going on? And he turned it off.
I was like, maybe I should tell CP Man that Citrus is on Funimation.
I know that they dubbed it. I just forgot that they dubbed it. But you know what? Like, Funimation. I hate Sean Schimmel. That's all I can ever say when I think about Funimation. But Sean Schimmel. But let's not even get into that.
What is he? What's his role in Funimation?
He's a voice actor. Just
okay.
He
aggravates me.
What's he voiced? Because I don't. Doesn't sound.
He is most known for worldwide as the voice of Goku. In Dragon Ball.
Okay.
But
we just outed ourselves as a couple of idiots, didn't we?
And he's also done a lot of stuff in he's also done a lot of voices in Yu-Gi-Oh and in Pokemon and stuff like that. The older like he was in that movie you like, Bistan. He was the voice of Paradox.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Very, very enough then.
Yeah, Dark Channel really likes dubs a lot. He's a dub guy. He likes his dubs. I prefer to watch subs. I think part of why I like to watch subs more at this point was just because of dealing with Funimation. I think that's the point that I've reached as to why. Because there is stuff I watch dubbed. Obviously, I watch Space Dandy like every week on television dubbed, and I have no problem doing that. I watch My Hero Academia dubbed and subbed. I've seen the whole show for as much as I can, both subbed and dubbed. And, I haven't seen every episode subbed. I've seen quite a few, but I haven't seen every episode subbed. But I've seen every episode dubbed. But it's like, the fact that Funimation will sit there and dub something, and I like Hajimete no Gal. Okay, I actually like it, even though it's very popular to think it's like a 1 out of 10 shitty anime. I actually like Hajimete no Gal, and I'm very unapologetic about it. But the fact that they dub stuff like that, and they dub frickin' Citrus, and all this garbage.
Yeah.
The fact that they dub so much garbage is what disgusts me. I think just the fact that really
they
shitty shows get
show
dubbed.
You don't like.
No. Shitty shows get dubbed, but good stuff like Golden Time and Oregairu, you're never gonna get a dub of that, like ever. But you're gonna get shitty stuff dubbed. Maybe that's why I just like to watch subs so much. Because you know what? There's a lot of terrible voice actors. I'm looking at you, Colin Clinkenbeard. I'm looking at you, Sean Schimmel. There's a lot of really bad Vic McNuggets. His last name's like McNogna or something. I call him Vic McNuggets because that's easy. But Vic McNuggets, I'm looking at you. You guys suck, and dealing with you is terrible. And you're the reason why me, this kind, young, impressionable man, American white man, turns to watching the stuff in a different language. So I have to deal with hearing you. That's the point that I'm at. That's it. That's enough. I hate Citrus. I hate you, Funimation.
The second rant induced by Citrus.
Just enough. God, talk about something else. Talk about something. For God's sake, just talk about something. Thick McNuggets. Oh, I hate it. You know who he voices too? He voices, he's the voice of Broly in Dragon Ball. Like, Broly's one of, like, I know you guys probably don't know a whole hell of a lot about Dragon Ball, but Broly is, you either love the freaking guy, or he's like, you think he's the hottest garbage in the series.
There's no in between or something?
Yes, he is getting a movie that's coming out in December, and he is being actually written by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. And he's had 3 movies prior, and they were all written by Toei Animation, and they were all terrible. But this time people are more excited, because obviously, when the guy that actually created the fucking franchise writes something, normally you're like, oh, this might actually be good. But like this Vic McNuggets dude, okay? He voices Broly. He sings most of the Kai openings. Like he did the voice of he did the opening for Dragon Ball Kai, which was like Dragon Soul or something in English. He sang the Dragon Ball GT opening in English. He's just the most annoying freaking guy, and people think he's like a sexual predator or something. So that's just on top of it. So it's like, God, you know, I really don't understand. And there's this guy that I know that I knew from YouTube, and he worked for Funimation for a little bit, and he's an asshole, and now he's on, like, television sometimes. He's in this commercial for Cece's Pizza, Pasta Salad, Dessert Buffet.
Oh,
like,
I love Cece's.
And now I never want to go to a Cece's ever, even though I've been wanting to go there since I was, like, 8 years old, and now I never want to go again because of this freaking guy being in their commercials, and I'm like, you know, and I don't remember. I don't want to hijack this at all. I hate this because I'm totally killing the end of this podcast right now.
By all means, continue.
But,
I'm entertained.
I'm glad you're entertained. God, do I hope the people that are going to be listening to this are entertained. But I will say this much. Back on my podcast, which once again is episode 3, if anybody wants to go back and listen to it, I brought up that I used to do Pokemon YouTubing. I used to be a YouTuber, and I created the biggest collaboration in the history of Pokemon YouTubing when I got myself and 68 other people together to open up every single set that was released in the Pokemon trading card game up to that point for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. And there was a guy in it, and I'm not even going to bother saying his name, but there was a guy in it that bitched and moaned and cried because he was not one of 69 people because we didn't know who he was. But he bitched and moaned and cried, and we put him in because we needed an alternate, and he ended up getting a very massive channel. He's got like 200,000 subscribers now. People know him, and now I have to see him on my television. But I can sit down, and when I see him pop up on TV trying to shill for Cece's Pizza, Pasta Salad, and Dessert Buffet, I can sit there and go, I made this motherfucker cry once over Pokemon. And that's all I gotta know. That's all I can sit there. I can sit back and say, yeah, I'm not on national TV, but you know what? I didn't cry over not being able to open up a pack of Pokemon cards with 68 other people either. So, you know, whatever. Whatever. It just, you know, look, Funimation sucks, okay?
While I'm here,
they suck because they employed him once.
I opened some Pokemon cards when I was like 10 once.
Did
How
you
come
cry?
I was not reached out to for that?
Oh, wow. Because you didn't cry hard enough. That's why. Because you didn't get your legion of fans after me. Your quote-unquote fans. Oh, Dark Trennow, I'm so sorry. Obviously, if I ever do it again, I'll definitely think to message you. Don't worry.
Thanks, buddy.
But no, you know what? Look, I'm sorry, Dark, because I know you love your dubs, and I'm sorry for attacking the biggest supplier of dubbed anime in the country.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
apologize.
I'm not the thought police. I'm not out to control your opinions. But bye, Red Baron. But yeah, I mean, I'm not here to determine what you think. Bye, Red Baron.
Because you know what? To be fair, there are good dubs. There are really good dubs. There are dubs that are better than the Japanese. Cowboy Bebop is the greatest dub of all time, and it is leaps and bounds better than watching it in Japanese. Without a doubt. Steve Bloom shines in his role as Spike Spiegel like there's no tomorrow. And that whole cast is just fantastic. And that just goes, there's a lot of really good dubs from the 90s. There's a lot of terrible ones. The ones by Funimation are really bad. The ones by 4Kids are really bad. But the ones done by like the studios out in LA, like Sony and, oh god, I forget, but I just call them the LA guys. The ones done by LA guys like Steve Bloom and Leah Sargent, Yuri Lowenthal, they're all really good stuff produced by them. So there are good dubs. I might prefer to watch my anime subbed, but as I've said before, I'd love to watch my shonen dubbed. And thankfully, a lot of the shonen that I've watched have had good dubs. Dragon Ball Z had a really bad dub, but Kai was better, and Super is not the worst thing in the world, even though I hate Sean Jamel. But I do love Chris Sabat, so it makes dealing with Funimation... See, I love Chris Sabat. Chris Sabat's like the poster boy of Funimation. So that's what makes it really hard for me to just shit all over Funimation. But, yeah, you know, dubs aren't that bad, Dark. I'm sorry, I don't mean to attack them, really. I don't. They're
Oh, no. Like I said, I'm not the thought police, but, yeah, you know. Bye,
just remember one day when you're going to be sitting there and you're going to think... Imagine if Toradora had never been dubbed. And just sit there and think, Toradora was never dubbed, but Citrus was. Just always remember that was something that could have happened.
In another universe, in a parallel universe, that's what happened.
In another universe, there was consent given in Citrus, but, you know, there's lots of other universes. So, let's not even... This has been the worst end to a podcast ever. I should have just encouraged you to keep talking about Darling in the Franxx. Oh, God.
So, since we just broke an hour, Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we sign out?
Oh. Don't ask him that. Piston's gonna say something next. He's gonna say, yeah, well, how about how Kirito is best girl in Oremo? And then I'm really gonna have to nod.
Oh, is it
God.
pronounced Oremo? I've been saying Oraimo myself.
I would think it's Oremo, but I mean I could very well be wrong because thank God I haven't had to hear the words said out loud like by anybody ever. Because could you imagine walking down the street and just hear somebody go like, yeah, did you watch Citrus last night? Like you're just walking down did you watch Oremo? I thought it was great when he kissed his sister.
Oh,
like,
really?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say that later.
I hate anime. But
How do I break it to him that we're on a podcast from an anime server where we talk about anime? How do I do it, Baston?
oh my God.
This is like when you're playing Mario Party with your friends and one of them says they hate board games and you're like, well,
I hate to break it to you, but board games hate you. No. I'm beginning to think anime
you're
hates
like,
me.
I'm basically playing the digital version of a board game. Yeah.
Jesus. Real quick, I actually do want to know something. I would like to have a closing on something constructive.
Sure.
Biston.
Just extend the link. That's not like
Biston,
someone edits.
whatever the hell. Oh, no, nobody.
I'm kidding,
It's
I'm
not
kidding.
like
Go,
we didn't just
continue
have. It's not like we didn't just have a podcast that was almost like 2 hours long. But
I haven't edited that one yet, just so you know.
ladies and gentlemen, you may never see that podcast, but it was a good one. But Biston, I want to know, what is like the longest amount of time that you've sat down and watched anime for?
Oh, bloody hell. Okay.
Like, and I'm talking like
non-stop.
you sat down and you watched, like you just were going, like. You didn't go and play a game. You didn't go watch something else. You sat down and you watched a show.
I don't actually know. That's the... Well, I did do it from like 12 o'clock to like 6 in the morning at one point to finish the entire series because I was enjoying it so much. Maybe...
So like a 12-episode series type of deal.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been 24. Yeah. So around...
We.
It might have been six episodes. It might have been 6 hours, maybe. In some cases, it may have been around 6 hours, I think.
Now, what was that anime that you sat down and watched for that long?
Eromanga Sensei.
You know what? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did the same thing like a year ago. So I also watched all of Eromanga Sensei in one night, one time, and just because somebody had said to me that it was super weird, and it was from the person that had created Oremo. So I was like, you know what? I hate Oremo. Let's see if I'm going to hate this. And I didn't. I love Eromanga Sensei, and I think it's leaps and bounds better than Oremo. So
I don't regret watching it.
I think
There's
it's
that.
great. No, I would hope not. I don't understand. Again, I don't understand why people think it's such garbage. I get why people think Hajimete no Gal is garbage. I don't really get why they think Eromanga Sensei is garbage. I guess I kind of do if you don't like the genre. But it's like, come on.
What is it, the genre?
I mean, it's like, it's your rom-com incestuous deal, but it's like...
you're saying you're being a bit vague, but I think the last word tells me what kind of production it is.
You see, but like that's like a forgivable kind, unlike Oremo is. But I can one day on the podcast. I don't know about right now.
Weeb existence across the internet.
I don't know about right now on this podcast, but maybe one day. I don't know, because Piston does like Eromanga Sensei, I guess. So maybe it wouldn't be the worst time to talk about it. But
I've only heard good stuff about Eromanga Sensei, so...
Well, thankfully you're in a server with mostly a bunch of people that like it, and then a bunch of other people that will call you a lolicon if you do like it. But
it's a lolicon okay.
I don't see it that way. But you know what? My definition of like
1-800 FBI.
It does.
My definition of a lolly is a lot different from the definition of most other people, I guess.
It does have some weird thing like pulling down the panties at one point. There's that, and then there's her taking a photo. I'm not gonna. Okay, she took a photo of her ass or bum, depending on how you. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's an experience, Trennow, and I think you should count yourself lucky that it's probably never going to be dubbed. So
Please, I want it to be dubbed because that'd be. I'll watch it.
I wouldn't mind it being dubbed. I think that would be funny as hell.
Dub wins again. I'm kidding.
But you know what? They never dubbed Doremo, so I'm sure they'll never dub Aramanga Sensei.
Maybe this is the one that's popular enough to tip it over.
No, Doremo was super popular. It was stupid popular. It was like stupid popular.
So Citrus, and they dubbed that. So, not to bring
to
it
be
up.
fair, Citrus was simul-dubbed.
Oh, fair enough.
Whatever. It was like I think it was like an every other week. It would air, but still, God, why did you have to bring it up again? Jesus Christ! And then I correct you, and I'm like I know my shit. It's the worst thing. I hate it so much, but I also know way too much about it. Oh my God! Like when I see a picture online and it's like a manga panel, and I could just know. I look and I'm just like that. I know where that's from, and I get fucking angry, and I have to log off of Twitter, and I have to go I have to go boil myself water and then drink lukewarm water to make myself not be as angry.
I thought it was bleach for your eyes.
Bleach was. I've melted many a plastic cup from pouring too much bleach with an attempt to get over myself, but it's never come to fruition.
Oh
my goodness gracious! I hate Citrus so much. Why does this keep happening? There will be a podcast one day that's just gonna be like me, just saying I hate the show like every 5 minutes. Somebody's gonna be trying to talk to me about it, and that the word's gonna come up, and soon enough it's gonna become a lot less broad. People are gonna use the word orange, and I'm gonna get pissed. People are gonna talk about they're gonna just mention that they enjoy Sprite, and I'm gonna fucking sigh really loud.
Let's talk about the qualitative differences between the lime and the lemon.
Let's not. pH values, am I right? God,
that's quantitative.
Oh, shut up, Dark Trennow, you freaking biologist. This is just the worst. Biston, I am so sorry. I should have never been here for this freaking podcast. I have hijacked your podcast.
No, it's perfect.
And the worst part is
the little wrongs. They're great.
I feel like such a jackass. Oh man.
Hey, Biston.
Yes.
Biston. I don't know how it's pronounced anymore. It's been ruined for me. When was the last time you had Cece's pizza?
Oh,
I don't think he's probably ever had Cece's pizza.
I've no clue what that is, to be honest. There is a shop called the Cooperative, and if you were to put C, that's technically CC. But
oh, is it not in England?
Oh wait, co-op. No, that's CO. I'm a
sorry.
moron. I'm a moron. I can't. I'm not. English is not my first language. In this case. CO. It's not. No, I've never actually. I've heard of it because you talk about it, but I've never actually seen it.
To be fair, I've never seen one either. I just know they exist, but no, that's not true. I think when I was a kid, I saw one for like half a second driving down a highway, but I've never seen a CC's in person, never. So
it's a myth.
And you know what? I feel even worse now because Dark Trennow, I'm gonna apologize one more time for attacking Funimation so much.
Here we go.
Because you know what? They're in Texas. And I know how much you hold Texas in your heart. So I'm sorry to attack a Texas staple like Funimation. I'm so sorry.
When I saw they were in Flower Mound, I was like, I know where that is.
I feel so bad right now. Oh my God, I have egg all over my face. Let me tell you. Oh my God, gosh. You know what? Look, I want you guys to comment down in the comment section down below that you never want to see me in a podcast ever again. Give Dark Trennow the ammunition to do what he's been planning to do since the beginning and get me out. Because my goodness gracious.
I'm sure everyone else enjoys the little... It enjoys it when you're here.
Everybody wants to get rid of it. Oh, no, everybody wants to get rid of it. No, people are sitting here going, wow, I really wish that Lost was here on this podcast instead of version 2. Oh my God. Alright, Biston, is there anything else you want to say? Any anime-related opinion and any cool thing on your mind? Anything else you think will piss me off? Is there anything else you want to say?
On the topic of subbed and dubbed, I prefer watching dubbed because it's for the sake of that it's easier.
Woo!
For the sake of that it's easier, but
Woo!
if
Oh my god.
if there's no options to actually watch it dubbed, it would be subbed in all cases. Or if that.
So you're not against watching stuff subbed at all?
No.
If you have to.
Like, if I have to watch it, well, I have to watch it subbed. I can just wait for it to come out dubbed because like this season, there's things like how to. What was it like? The demon.
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even
song.
ask you what you were watching this season
Oh,
either. That
Jesus.
Fill in that too while you're talking, please.
In the case, the dub stuff that I'm watching this season, it would be then, there's Cells at Work.
Oh, there you go. Hataraku Saibo.
Don't lose the platelets, please.
No, please don't. For fuck's sake. You know, I have a quick question for you now that you brought that up real quick, because I want to know your opinion since you're watching it.
Oh, okay.
Like, the show is really giving a lot of personality to my blood. Like, am I to believe that right now inside of me, like, my cells, like, my blood is, like, they're, like, fucking? Like, is that, like, a thing that's actually happening?
I don't think that, actually, if in order to get more blood, then I would say yes.
Oh my god, there's a white blood cell and a red blood cell inside of me right now making children.
That's not quite how biology works.
Oh no! And I got a cut on my leg yesterday, and I screamed at the platelets to get the fuck to work. So I think this anime isn't doing what it should be doing for me.
Oh god. This season I'm watching around, as far as I remember, either 18 or 17 shows which are going this season I am watching.
Whoa! Holy cow!
Yeah, that's not a good thing to be for that. Just,
you're running a marathon. My goodness.
At least it's not like 7 a day, because that would be awful. But it's it's like 1 or 3 per day, depending on.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not overbearing. But if it takes ages for the dub to come out, I will watch the sub, without a doubt, because I'm not going to wait for that. That's what I'm starting
yeah,
with, it's easier.
I know some people like that, but I know that they're doing that with Steins Gate Zero. Like, they watch the dub, but they're watching the sub weekly because they don't want to be behind.
Yeah, I prefer it's Steins Gate. I've not listened to the subbed, but I don't like the idea of going back to watching a show again, but watching it subbed, because it's stupid. But I may not like the show as much as before. Which is
I get it.
But yeah, I'm just watching it with you. I'm just going to watch the Steins Gate Zero dubbed, and once I get some money, because I'm very poor, I will buy both box sets and then just watch them again, without a doubt.
Oh, there you go. I mean, hey, you know what? At least the Steins Gate dub has some nice voice actors in it. So I do know that. I haven't watched it myself, but I do know that like Chris Sabat is Mr. Braun. And in Steins Gate Zero, Maho is voiced by Monica Rial, and she's a good voice actress. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know either of those. Out of the entire show, the only voice actor I know is she goes under a different name, but it's Ashley Birch.
Okay, yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, actually, like from Life is Strange and Horizon Zero Dawn. That's the only reason that I.
Oh yeah. She did do voicing in Life is Strange, huh?
Yeah, that was a great game.
Sure, see, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, now so out of everything else, the only voice actor I know.
Hi man, she is Mayuri. She is Mayuri in Steins Gate, so.
Chicken tenders.
Yeah, I fucking love chicken tenders, man.
Wasabi.
I don't think I've got nothing else to say on this kind of dubbed stuff. That's the end of my.
But yeah, you know that's cool, and I mean I'm not giving you a hard time.
That's
when
fine.
You said that you have watched that many anime this season. I think that's cool. I didn't. The only reason I'm not doing something like that is just because my spectrum of wanting to watch things is like it's very much a narrow type of deal. There were some anime that looked interesting. I just can't bring myself to watch all of them because I don't find interest in all of them. But I mean, I'm watching 8. I'm watching 8 or 9. You know, so it's like I get it.
It's great.
To me, that's a lot.
It's
you know,
it's gonna start piling up.
Oh yeah, if as the seasons go on, if they start to put out more stuff that I'm interested in, I'll gladly watch 20 if there's just happens to be 20 that I care about.
It's because I'm one of those, because they sound interesting in the synopsis.
You want to give everything a try, right?
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not one of those people that's just, I think, I've said before that I don't like dropping stuff. I've not dropped anything so far. I've about the 60 stuff that I've...
antithetical to Wishes. He dropped stuff in like 2 minutes.
There we go then. Opposite sides of the coin. I drop nothing, he drops everything.
It's pretty much the truth, huh? Oh man, well, you know that's highly interesting. I'm glad you were able to give me a good response to that. You know, I mean, Dark. Is there anything else you want to get out of Biston here? Will we still have him? I mean,
that's a good question. Well, Biston.
Bistonian, if you will.
Oh dear.
You've been in a few of our late night voice chats that we've been having a lot recently. Do you want to give the people your thoughts on people who maybe are on the fence joining the server, whether or not this is a feature you might want to partake in?
It depends on if you enjoy just talking about random stuff. Generally, that's basically what it is.
Some days it's very deep, and then other days it's like,
And then other days it's deep dish because they're talking about freaking Red Baron pizza.
Or Dark just happens to fall asleep. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I hear that's been happening a lot lately, Dark. What's going on?
It's happened twice. I've fallen asleep at late night voice chats twice.
You know, I actually got on the day that we're recording this podcast. He did that, and
they're that exciting.
I got a call. I joined that call that you were asleep at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I think it was, and I just was going, "You have to get up, Dark. The server's on fire." Screaming, and you wouldn't listen.
Mercedes told me one time he could hear me roll over.
That's fantastic.
Oh no,
that is hilarious.
And then, like, I saw they played a ton of songs overnight. Like, there was like a 2-hour mix of spooky sounds or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, if you want to talk about everything from your life to pizza to pizza toppings to listen to Dark, just guess when Dark will randomly fall asleep. They're a lot of fun. We hold a couple of them, 2, 3, maybe 4 a week. You know,
and it's definitely been happening more often. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
because people are more willing, I think, to actually.
It's kind of like if I at Joe or Hip, we tend to make one, and it's just it's been growing. Shin is pretty in on them, you know. So
dare I say that perhaps the podcast's existence is making people want to talk a little bit more with one another.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
perhaps it was Dark's arrival back in April that was really the origin event of this.
I, too, arrived in April, and the first thing that I really ever did to the server was get in a call and talk to you and Joe. So never forget.
I remember that because we were talking, and then I started watching a live stream, and you were going on about something I didn't remember. I wasn't something I was, like...
I know what I was going off
so I watched the stream, then I came back, and I sat there in silence for another 5 minutes, and see you guys later.
I was burying light novels that end badly after their anime, like Sakura So and Haganai. That's what I was doing.
Okay. And then I remember we played AMQ, and then a friendship started to form.
Yeah, we played AMQ, and I sucked really bad, and now I literally kicked everybody's ass.
Yeah,
I couldn't score a point 2 months ago.
That he has never beaten me. He's never beaten Wishes.
Never,
he can't
never.
beat Swag.
The only person I've ever beaten was myself.
Every time Joe's in the game, no one wins because Joe's list kills us. Yeah, including Joe.
Yeah, you know what? We finally got Joe in for a round again a few days ago because he hasn't played in so long. And I'm pretty sure that that even Wishes was bitching. It was great.
No, like I'm like literally like if you want to see 8 people in an AMQ room, and no one's in like a 25 question game and no one scores higher than 5 points.
Oh,
I know
Joe.
That's random. If it's random, then you're kind of screwed.
Oh well, you know, I love playing random just because it's fun.
You play AMQ with us.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You play AMQ with us this time sometimes.
when my computer's not playing up, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
There's
hey,
actually
I'm sure
graphic
he has fun.
settings for AMQ. You have it turned up to intense mode with that pixel art.
You know, the funny thing is, there is graphics settings, right?
No, there literally is. I was not joking. Though a couple weeks ago when I pointed out to people there are actually graphic settings on AMQ.
Somebody just... All right, you know what? I think that, you know, they're talking about Citrus in our Discord server, guys. You know what? The podcast canceled. Don't join the podcast. Don't join the server.
I wish...
Never mind.
That's great. I'm just gonna start...
They actually are, like, and they don't know we're recording this right now.
Well, I think
One day, this podcast is going to close with me screaming, and Darchino's going to edit in the fucking OP for Citrus. So that's how the podcast is going to close.
Oh my...
You're just going to hear wild drums and nanoripe, and as I'm like screaming in the background, it's fading out.
Oh god.
See, the thing is, that's a shame. Is I actually love that song, but I can't love it as much as I'd like to, just because of what it is associated with.
Yeah, it's a good OP, but
It's one of the best. It's one of my favorite OPs. One of the best. It's like NaNoWriMe's magnum opus, but unfortunately for them, their magnum opus was essentially, hey, you ever imagine seeing some lesbians and watching them rape each other? Well, we want you to write a song for it, and we want you to make it a slapper. And then, you know, they went ahead and they did that. And, well, we all make mistakes, don't we?
Well,
yeah, please, Trennow.
so this is our second in a row episode that's gone over length. Our normal length. I say over length like we're on a schedule, like over the normal length of what we do these.
This
right?
past half hour was the worst, and knowing me, making it drag on, like it's gonna turn out that there was a recording problem. Like that.
Oh
that's
my god!
Like,
Please no.
What would have happened?
No, please.
But this has been Dark Trennow with CP Man V2. We were joined by Bistan R1.
Bistain.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you like CP Man's rants, let us know, and I'll be sure to clip in a rant of his, because I have one clipped already that he gave me.
Oh, good.
We can just that can just be the new OP for the podcast. But thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next time.